Mark Chalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Today I have the pleasure of presenting you one of the finest automobiles we've ever had in our collection here at the dealership. This is a 1953 Jaguar XK120 FHC, which stands for Fixed Head Coupe. These cars were produced from 1948 to 1954. They made a total of 12,056 units, which makes them a very limited production piece. Of the 12,056 that were actually built, only 2,678 of these vehicles were actually made in the fixed head coupe, which makes this particular vehicle extremely rare. Again, that's the fixed head coupe left-hand drive. So this is a really, really limited production car. Some people would argue this is the most beautiful car known to exist. The body lines are absolutely incredible. If you haven't actually seen one of these cars in person, it is truly breathtaking. So to talk for a few minutes about the history of this particular car, this car was with the same owner for over 50 years. He only used the car about 4 or 5 times during the entire time that it was in his ownership, within his possession and so forth. And the car was actually found by a well-known collector and restorer out of Wisconsin by the name of Tom Griffith. Tom has restored and sold some beautiful, beautiful cars over the years. He's actually set world records with some of his pricing. You can Google his name just to see some of the examples I'm talking about. So Tom actually purchased his car for himself. He literally had an open checkbook for the restoration. Well over $200,000 was spent on this car, and it was done over a 6-year period. I can't even get into the amount of time and the dollars and just everything that went into doing this car. He literally pulled everything apart. He had thousands and thousands of pieces spread all across his facility and literally restored it nut by bolt and everything else. So it is just a car that has been done to the highest level of quality. It is one of the best, if not the best, car known to exist. It is a very, very special piece. So starting with the Jaguar Heritage Certificate here that Tom actually ordered in 2012 when he was beginning the restoration. It is included obviously with the car. It gives you what the car was born as. It basically tells you the date of manufacture, the chassis number, the engine number, the body number, what color it was born as, you know, where it was sold, who bought it, and so forth. Really important that you get this information when you buy cars like this particular car here. It just truly documents that the car is what it is, its numbers matching and things of that nature. So starting with the exterior of this car, the great thing about it is it retains 100% of the original sheet metal. There was a few little areas that Tom didn't want to do body work to, so he actually cut them out and saved them, and we marked them. You can check out those pieces of metal within our description. You don't really find people who do that, but that's the kind of guy that Tom is, and I think that's really cool. He obviously made this body as perfect as you will ever find. It is laser straight. All the gap lines are precise. Obviously everything on the exterior has been restored to a high level of quality. It's got new tires. The windshield is new, but the remaining glass is actually all original. And when he was doing the restoration, he saved some of the original paint that's hidden, such as under the dash or in the back of the trunk. We've listed those areas within our description as well. And he color matched the paint from the factory perfectly, created his own special formula, and finished it exactly like it was. And that formula is actually included in here for the person who buys the car. The paint on this car is, again, at the highest level of quality. It's got a brilliant shine to it. It's just a super, super color. It's called Dove Gray from the factory. Again, it's the original color the car was born with. Getting into the interior, this car was also born with red interior. Again, this is a very seldomly seen color combination, Dove Gray with red. so it's definitely a special piece in itself. And he did this interior, again, to the highest level of quality. It's one of the best interiors I've ever laid my eyes on, and I've been doing this a long time. This headliner here is perfection. He added these custom sun visors, which would normally have been leather. All of the wood is just absolutely stunning. All the gauges, the door panels, the seats, Conley leather and so forth. It's just absolutely magnificent. In the back where the batteries are correct, which you don't even see very often. And the pieces that actually fit on top of the batteries are even there. I took them off and took a picture within our listing so you could actually see those in detail. So just again, this car was done to a very high level of quality. The engine compartment of these Jaguars is where you find people kind of don't spend as much time on them. They don't rebuild the engines. They kind of get a little bit ugly, if you will, when you open the hood. This particular car, it gets better when you open the engine compartment because the attention to detail is really second to none. So Tom actually sent the engine out to have it completely rebuilt. Once again, in this binder that's included with the car, there are receipts here for the engine build. It was done by PHP Race Engines out of Illinois. They have an unbelievable reputation, and this is a very detailed description of what was done to the engine. Tom also had the transmission rebuilt as well, so you can feel rest assured that when everything was put back together, it was done to factory correct standards. The engine in this car is a 3.4 liter inline 6-cylinder. When Tom rebuilt it, he had it dyno tested multiple times, and this car actually would perform at 135 miles an hour based on some of the things that he had done to the engine during the restoration. And the engine is actually coupled to a 4-speed transmission, which shifts absolutely beautiful. And once again, the engine and the transmission are original to this car. So again, the color combination, the engine, the transmission, everything about it is a true matching numbers car. And finishing it off, obviously the trunk compartment, when you see the pictures, was done to high quality standards. Everything back there is correct, the tools and jack and things of that nature. And the undercarriage is also high quality. Everything was done to factory specifications. This is a car that you absolutely could put mirrors underneath at a car show. So it's just a super piece. Rather than me going on and talking about it longer, I'll let you go to our listing, read the description that we've written, check out all the photos. You can find it all at msclassiccars.com. I'm going to go ahead right now and actually start the car and let you listen to how beautiful it runs. It starts up instantly and absolutely purrs like a kitten. Right now it's running at around, 600 RPMs. It just sounds